my curse and Mr. Fujimoto having a set-up date. I have no clue what to do first, and kept on thinking. Thank you very much! I greeted a customer inside. I was able to work a little bit, so I was okay, but it's hard to keep it up. I know I wasn't feeling well from the morning, but there were so many deliveries today, so I couldn't rest. There's no big event or anything, so I thought I'd be okay, but I don't know why, but there are so many customers. I was taking care of the shop by myself while Takuma went around for the deliveries. Isn't Takuma coming back soon? I wasn't feeling well, and I felt weaker.
Excuse me.
Oh yes! It's only till Takuma comes back to the shop. I should be okay. Hello, what kind of flower are you looking for? I kept on telling myself and went back to work. I don't know what to do. It might be too much for me. Usually Takuma would be back by now, but he's called me and that he's stuck in traffic. And there's a line of customers, so I began feeling even worse. Good, I was able to do this. Thank you for waiting. I finally made a bouquet for the last customer in the shop. Here's your order.
This is beautiful. I'm sure they'll love this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm glad she likes it. I was glad that she liked the bouquet, but suddenly my entire body lost its tension. I feel dizzy, and the entire world is going round. I felt my body falling. I'm going to collapse. I closed my eyes. I never felt this pain before. Why is this? Oh! Before I can hit my head and get a concussion, Mr. Fujimoto saves the day.
Oh man, she probably doesn't. She looks cute in the screen, but like I think on my screen I have a little smear near eye is, so it just looks like she's an old tired lady with like the wrinkle crease that they have in anime to signify a like older person.
Where are you? There he is. When I opened my eyes with this weird feeling, there was a navy uniform in front of me.
Hey, are you alright? I can't speak words. Hey, are you alright? Pull yourself together.
It was Mr. Fujimoto who caught me from falling. Mr. Fujimoto? Mr. Fujimoto was panicking as I called his name.
You're awake. I think you should go to hospital.
No, it's different. I've caught a cold.
A cold?
He murmured and pressed his hands to my forehead.
Oh.
And it's two pictures.
Yes, it seems like you have fever. Is there anywhere else you feel pain?
No.
I see.
He seemed relieved, but he returned to his strict expression.
But even if it's just cold, you shouldn't force yourself right now. What if it becomes worse?
I'm sorry. He's right. If I force myself and my cold gets worse, I'll be making more trouble for others.
Anyway, where's your boss? Why is he asking you to stay here alone?
He seems upset. There are a couple deliveries today, and he was supposed to be back by now, but there's traffic. After Fujimoto heard that Takuma isn't back at the shop, he thought for a little bit and told me.
I see. I'll stay here until Takuma comes back. Okay, good. You're not angry anymore. It looks like you're about to hit someone.
Stay here? What about your work?
You don't have to worry about my work. Anyway, if you stay like this, your body will become weak too and won't get better.
Then I realized that I was leaning towards Mr. Fujimoto. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, I'm glad I was able to catch you before you got hurt. Do you mind going to the back?
Here. At the back of the shop, there's a small staff room where there's a small table and chairs. If there are no customers, I can rest here a little.
Can you walk by yourself? Well, right answer is not as obvious. You think you should probably be honest with them and say, like, I might not be okay, so, like, to help you, but the right answer is, I'll be okay. I guess the optimistic one.
Yeah, I'll be alright. I still feel dizzy, but I don't want to bother Mr. Fujimoto. As soon as I tried to move, I couldn't hold myself up.
Wait.
Mr. Fujimoto held me as I was falling. I'm sorry. I couldn't feel my legs for a minute. Mr. Fujimoto looked at me, apologizing, and sighed.
You're not alright.
After Mr. Fujimoto told me, I felt like my body's floating. What? What's going on? Mr. Fujimoto looked very surprised, and his face was next to me. I finally realized that he was carrying me.
You're the one who picked me up, dude. Why are you the one that looks surprised?
Mr. Fujimoto? I'll be fine. You can put me down.
No, I won't. I can't let you fall. You're gonna carry me like a princess?
It's not that far, and I'm heavy.
You're not heavy. I'm more worried about you are too light. Are you eating properly?
It's not nice to be called heavy, but it's also embarrassing to be worried about being too light. I was carried by Mr. Fujimoto and taken to the back of the shop.
Here.
When I got back to the back of the shop, Mr. Fujimoto made me sit. Thank you very much. When I sat down, I felt better.
Are you alright? If you want me to, I'll take you to hospital.
I'll be okay. If I rest a little bit more, Takuma will be back soon. I can't bother Mr. Fujimoto anymore. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I gotta take a sip of water. Why are you apologizing?
I made you stop during work.
You don't have to worry. It's part of my job.
Part of his job? I was so sad when he said that. I'm sorry. I'll be fine. I'll get back to work.
What are you talking about? Rest until your boss comes back.
I was going to stand, but Mr. Fujimoto made me sit again.
What are you going to do? You don't feel well.
Work. I was being stubborn.
Ah, I'm sorry.
What are you talking about?
I can't talk well when I need to.
Mr. Fujimoto looked at me directly.
It's not just for work. I'm just worried.
Why, Mr. Fujimoto? It was making me feel painful to have Mr. Fujimoto look at me. Why do you say that right now? Mr. Fujimoto looked surprised, but I couldn't stop myself. You're gonna have a matchmaking date, aren't you? He looked surprised when I said,
Honoka, you're not supposed to know that. How do you know about the matchmaking?
I didn't answer and kept on talking. Why don't you understand yourself or have confidence? Why do you not know?
Hey, calm down.
He was trying to calm me down, but I took his hand away. You like cute things, cats, and you might not be good at expressing yourself, but you're kind. I know that. Ah, right. Then I realized I probably love Mr. Fujimoto.
How do you know that?
When he said that, I finally understood what I said. Even though my fever is high, it's stuff he was keeping away from others.
I've never told anyone else about matchmaking date. How do you know about that?
I'm sorry.
Hey.
I ran out from the shop. What should I do? I ran out from the shop, but I can't stay here forever. But if I go back to the shop, Mr. Fujimoto...
Mr. Fujimu. Oh, the typos. Mr. Fujimu will.
Even if I have a fever, I said everything that Mr. Fujimoto was trying to hide.
Is this like the first time that Honoka has like... She really tries really hard not to like mix what she knows as a cat with what she should like know as a person, but is this like the first time she's actually pretty much used her information that she's gained as a cat in dialogue against another person? I don't know.
I don't know what I should say to him anymore.
It is kind of hard, like, you're pretty much living a double life, but like, you're trying to hide things, so like, something will get blurted out eventually.
Even if I want to apologize, I don't know what to say first. He must be angry.
I found you. Uh-oh. It's getting a little dark here, dude.
When I looked around, Mr. Fujimoto was out of breath. Mr. Fujimoto.
You told me before. I shouldn't move around when I was sick.
Mr. Fujimoto looked relieved when he found me.
I'm glad you are alright.
He was worrying about me still after what happened. I felt so guilty lying at him. Mr. Fujimoto, I have to tell you something. I felt a weird feeling in my body. This feeling like I'm gonna turn to a cat again. Why is it happening right now?
Hey, are you alright?
Mr. Fujimoto came towards me as I was transforming. Mr. Fujimoto.
Hey, are you feeling ill again? Wait a second, I'll call ambulance.
Wait. I told them to stop.
But...
No, it's not what you think. I felt this awkward feeling throughout my body and I closed my eyes.
You...
When I opened my eyes, I was already turned into a cat. I won't be able to hide from him anymore. When I looked at him, he looked so confused.
Is that really you?
Meow. I answered in the only way I could.
Am I dreaming?
I'm sorry. I never told you about this. While Mr. Fujimoto was trying to understand what was going on, I ran away.
Wait.
I heard his voice, but I couldn't turn around anymore. He won't be kind to me anymore. It's the same as if I was lying to him. He won't pet me gently or talk to me anymore, but it's my own fault. I'm sorry, Mr. Fujimoto. I ran in the darkness, thinking about all those thoughts.